There was this photo, I think it was something you posted, but you had shared of the two of you guys when you were, I think, teenagers. It was recently, like a month or so. That photo. How old were you guys in that photo, and what's it like when you see that image? That throughout, I mean, that was a lot of miles ago.
I just met Stevie. I had just gotten to LA. I was either 19 or 20.
What year would this be?
91. And
91. I don't remember that picture.
I started working at Aardvark's Odd Ark in Venice Beach. It was a vintage clothing place, and that's where I met him.
What's it like when you see that photo?
And we became roommates.
It's crazy. Like it reminds me of a time that's really blurry. We lived together. We had life was so much different then. I mean, we're sober now. So,
Listen, this is how long I've known him. I'm in November, which at the end of this month, I'll be 23 years sober.
Congrats.
I'll be 17 years
and I got
sober.
fucked up with him.
We used to get loaded. We got
fucked up for like 2 years.
We used to give you a quick. We used to. One of our grand ideas of making money is that we quit Aardvark's and we took our last check and we bought a bunch of acid. And our plan was to become the acid lords of Los Angeles,
like the Owsleys of LA.
Exactly.
That was our brilliant plan.
That was our brilliant plan. And so we threw it in the freezer, and we were going to sell it hit by hit. We were going to triple our money. And by the end of 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, it was all gone. we had ate it all.
We were eating it all because we were broke. We just eat acid. There was I remember like a week had gone by, and I'm like, I couldn't even tell if I was on acid or if I wasn't on acid.
It's just that dreamlike state where you...
that's exactly it. That was our whole relationship, really. Like,
It was awful. It was awful.
So then either one of you was the only stability that you had in your own personal lives in terms of like the drug use, especially. Like the only familiarity.
I was literally, I was bouncing checks to Ralph's for Lucky Lager beer.
Ralph's is a grocery store.
So what does it mean that 2+ decades later that not only did both of you land on your feet physically and professionally, that you're still in this as friends and still working together?
It's a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, like
it is.
I can't even tell you like what has to happen for us to just be in the same band initially after all that time. But then then compound it with Kevin Rankin Kelly Lemieux. We knew at that time comes and joins Buckcherry, and then Kevin Rankin comes 25 years later, and we're all in the same fucking band. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's dude. The odds of that happening.
It's awesome.
Is staggering.
What?
You know?
See, I've watched interviews with you guys before on YouTube and all that stuff, and it seems like even from a very young age that where you are today is where you wanted to be ultimately. Mm-hmm. But how much of what you wanted out of the rock and roll lifestyle ended up being bullshit, and how much actually ended up being what you had hoped it would be?
I never thought about the rock and roll lifestyle. Like, that's not why I got into this game. You know, I
mean, like the things that had happened to you with drugs and alcohol. And...
Right. Well, my professional career never really started happening until I got sober.
Yeah.
So I haven't dealt with that professionally, you know, as far as being a paid musician.
Yeah.
I kind of got all that out of my system before it all happened for me. I don't think it would ever happen if I kept getting loaded, you know. But I think the what was different for me, like when we finally had it, was it's a lot of work, you know, and it's like a full-time job, and it's the traveling, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, a lot of sacrifice, you know, as far as friends and family. There's a lot of solitude that comes with this, you know, because you think it's all great, you're on the stage and everybody loves you, you know, but there's
a lot of downtime.
But your downtime, you're sitting in a fucking bus all day, you're away from your friends and family, and once you're out here for a long time, and we've been doing it a long time, your friends are on one hand, you know, because everybody is getting on with their lives, and it's like you're never around, you know.
The circle is definitely very, very small. This whole thing has been a vehicle for us to provide for our families, you know, get homes, cars, and all that, and guitars. That was something that, you know, like I imagined comes along with, you know, the success. But I didn't realize how much, like, when you get, you know, when you get to a platinum status, the machine's running itself.
Yeah.
And then, when you get to, let's say there's a middle class in this whole hierarchy, it's very hands-on. There's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. There was so much that I didn't even know about going from, because my role had changed from Buckcherry to The Conflict. So now I'm involved with merch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm curious about the numbers at the end of the night. And, you know what I mean? And because the bottom line is important to a business, and that's what you're running. Yeah.
Now, how old are you now?
I'm 72.
Well, I guess I was curious because you're 46.
I'm 46.
46.
Yep.
I'm 50.
50.
Yeah.
So as you're approaching 50 and as you are 50, do you see any full circle moments or rebirth in your thought process these days?
Well, yeah, coming to The Conflict, there was definitely a full circle, like when I was about 3 years sober before I started seeing any real success, and then it was this gradual thing that some people were saying was overnight, But the things I was seeing then and the thoughts I was having then, right before the big success of Buckcherry, are happening right now with The Conflict.
It's like a clear vision.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. Maybe it's fear. I don't know.
But then it's how you capitalize on the fear.
Listen, Stevie and I had to overcome a lot of adversity starting this. There was a lot of stuff, and I think what kept us connected is we kept doing the same things. We started meditating like an hour a day, both of us. Like not together, but an hour a day. We were committed to it, and we were committed to our schedule. We were committed on like staying focused on the outcome, because a lot of things on the outside weren't showing us that this was going to be great. Very similar to like right before when we were trying to get 15 off the ground. No one would. A lot of people don't know that no one would sign that record in the United States. Like all this stuff, I could go down the list of how everything on the outside was telling us this is never going to work, and we just were like, nope. We're going there. Nope, we're going there. And that's what Stevie and I did. And, we were in recording this record, and we didn't have a record label in place, And so we had already agreed to a number to pay these guys. We thought we were going to go in this one direction, and then we're like, no, let's hold off. And we're like, we got to pay all these people, and we're getting to the end of the recording process, and we just kept having faith that we could have a better situation, and then Century Media came into the fold, and
the universe provides.
Well, and it's also the universe provides as long as you're also open to the universe. You know,
you're open to the universe, and you're in action. You can't
and good karma and all those things. You
can't be an asshole in a closet praying for a hamburger and expecting it to be delivered. You know what I mean? Well, you got to get out there and go.
No, it's all about massive action with the whole mind thing. You gotta back it with action,
Yeah, I mean, I'll say as a writer, I was the only one getting my career off the ground. It takes just an army of just mentality to get it going. But
you just have to be relentless, and you stay focused on the beacon, whatever that is for you.
And you got to surround yourself with. We met
Russell.
We have a dream team around us. We have an unbelievable manager, an unbelievable tour manager, front of house guy.
Well, when people buy into the idea, then the idea will flourish.
You know how we met him? We were doing spray gun war on Shiprocked. No one fucking knew we were even on the boat.
Dude, the universe provides.
He fucking worked his ass off for us, and I'm like, I want you to fucking work for us.
I was like, I saw him, and I was like, I bet you he'd be our guy, because it's hard to find a guy that will do double duty, and with the baby band.
It's about somebody who's going to hustle and who's a nice person, because you got to, at the end of the day,
it's a fine line, man.
They're going to have to grow.
You got to live with them.
Yeah.
Well, my final question is that I like to ask at the end of interviews is, what is a life creating and playing music and meeting people and traveling the world? What has that taught each of you about what it means to be a human being?
I got to tell you, as an American, seriously, like going outside of the United States has been such an eye-opener, and it's been like so refreshing, and it's made me really just, love all different types of cultures, and just to soak all that up and to see all that. I wish every American could do that, because when you get back to America, you just realize how spoiled we are, and like there's some real shit going on outside of the United States, you know, and like, so going and being able to play in front of those crowds, to those people, and the passion, and
Release
that's like everything for me, you know. When we get our opportunity to do that, that's when it's like, wow, we are so lucky. This is amazing. We wrote these songs in a fucking dark, dirty fucking rehearsal room. And now we're in fucking Mexico, and we're in fucking South America, and we're in fucking Europe, you know, and Japan. We've been to Japan
they're reciting
like
the
fucking
words back
15
to you.
times.
Yeah,
they might not even know English, and they're reciting the words back to you.
They're singing guitar parts back to you. Then no one else does. They don't do that in America.
Yeah.
But I know they're passionate. You know, they're passionate in a different way. You know what I mean?
What about for yourself as someone who creates art and performs art? What does that tell you about being a human being?
I think you got to stay grateful, no matter where you are in your career, because that's when the most comes to you. Mm-hmm. Or at least that's what the most comes to me, is when I stay grateful. When I stay focused on what I want, it becomes it keeps getting too far away from me. So that means keeping my side of the street clean. That means me being a good guy to that stranger who turns out it doesn't tell you who they are, you know what I mean? So, like, be nice to everyone.
Well, and then also be, like, part of the now.
Right.
You know? Like,
be present, you know what I mean? Be a good person and be grateful, you know what I mean?
Well, thank you so much.